Hey guys, Samurai here, back in with another episode of the Pokemon Sword and Shield series, Crown Zenith. Yeah, I know it's been a while since the last episode, but I needed to take a bit of a mental health break, and now I'm ready and willing to get back into the meat of the Sword and Shield series. Now, in case you missed last episode, the group have just gotten their 8th gym badge from Raihan, and now they recently established that they're going to train with Elane, Rinto, and Peonia going to train in the Crown Tundra with Peony, and Ash, Chase, and Lucas going to train with Mustard on the Isles of Armor. Just as they're about to leave, this is when Raihan approaches Ash with 2 Drippies. These 2 Drippies are incredibly energetic and are excited to meet Ash. When Ash inquires to why Raihan is here, Raihan basically explains that he's here to give Ash these 2 Drippies, as when Ash's Dracoloak evolved into Dragapult, it didn't have 2 Drippies in its sockets. This is when Ash is curious on how Dragapult usually gets its Drippies. Raihan usually explains that when a Dragapult evolves in the wild, usually it'll hatch 2 Drippies, or it will find them just in the wild itself. Ash is really excited to have new members onto his team, even if they aren't officially registered, but he's excited nonetheless. This is when the group split up. Elane wishes the best of luck to both Chase and Ash, and they do the same with her, and this is when they split up. Now, upon making it to the Isles of Armor, Ash, Lucas, and Chase are enamored by this beautiful landscape that they're seeing in the tropical paradise that is the Isles of Armor. They're in awe of the beauty and the nature here, and they're just taking it all in, getting ready to do their training. This is when Chase decides that he wants to do a training battle right now. However, Ash says that they should probably find the dojo first. This is when they are on their way to the dojo. This is when a quick Pokemon steals Chase's hat. Chase, incredibly annoyed by this, immediately goes to chase the Pokemon, with Ash and Lucas following close behind. As Chase is getting on the Pokemon, he decides to challenge it to a battle. Chase sends out his always loyal Pikachu into the battle, but this is when a rival Pikachu counters with a Thunder Punch. This Pikachu, having a deep and booming voice and a commanding personality, immediately demands the attention of both Ash, Lucas, and Chase. Chase, wondering what the heck is going on, this is when a white-haired man known as Freed pops out wearing the dojo uniform, asking why he's just attacking one of the dojo Pokemon like that. Chase is mad, saying that the dojo Pokemon has his hat. While Freed says that there's no reason to attack one of the Pokemon here, this is when Chase becomes even more annoyed and challenges Freed to a battle. Freed gladly accepts, but before the battle can get underway, Mustard breaks it up though, saying that these are their new trainees. Freed, very confused, asking if these are the 3 new students that are in today. This is when Mustard agrees, saying that these 3 students have insane potential, as he's watched every single one of their gym battles. While Freed agrees that Ash and Lucas have insane potential, he can't see why someone as great as Mustard would even train Chase. Chase has basically 0 potential, and he says he kind of looks dumb. Chase, incredibly more annoyed by this, saying that if he can beat Freed in the battle, he'll not only be allowed into the dojo, but Freed will have to admit that he's wrong. However, Freed comes up with his own ante. He says that if he wins, Chase will have to leave here, and he can't enter the Galar League. Ash is annoyed by Freed's attitude, but he can see where Freed is coming from, saying that Chase doesn't give the best first impressions. However, he still encourages Chase to do his best. Chase, taking this in stride, sends out his Pikachu once again for a rematch. Freed sends out his own Pikachu that he calls Cap. The 2 Pikachus end up clashing, and it's a battle of speed and wit. Both Chase and Freed do incredibly well. However, Chase is no pushover, and he's grown a lot in these past 8 gym battles. Chase is really starting to trust himself, but he ends up incorporating some of Ash's moves. This kinda ends up working out, but it almost costs him the match. This is what Mustard ends up noticing. However, in a close whip battle and a clash between Thunder Punch and Rock Smash, Chase's Pikachu ends up being the victor by a hair. This is when he celebrates, saying that he's going to be let into the dojo. Freed eventually does apologize, saying that he was a bit too hard on Chase and was more or less frustrated with himself. Chase doesn't take this too hard, and even Slowpoke gives back his hat. Chase and Freed become rivals as such, wanting to train to become the best. This is when Ash and Lucas smile knowingly, knowing that everything turned out well. Now we can go to the Crown Tundra for a bit. As Elane enters to the Crown Tundra, she's shocked of how cold it is. She expected it to be cold, but not this cold. Rinto tells her to shrug it off, and Peonia says that she got used to it eventually and that it will take some time. Now, as they're about to start their training and Peony's about to set up camp, this is when two Pokemon decide to end up ravaging Freezington, the village. This Pokemon being Nidoking and Nidoqueen. These two Pokemon are incredibly powerful. Now, when Rinto goes to battle them, thinking that it will be good training for his Pokemon, this is when Peonia stops him, saying to let her and Elane handle this, saying that he's gotten enough battles for now. Elane is kind of nervous, but she realizes this would be a good opportunity to truly amplify her Pokemon's strength, having Lucas's word echo in her ears. The battle is intense between both of them, but they do end up taking away the win. In fact, both of them end up catching both Nidoking and Nidoqueen respectively, Elane getting Nidoqueen and Peonia getting Nidoking. Both of them celebrate on their new captures and get ready for a lot of training. They start to do their training, in fact, with Peony offering good constructive criticism and overall focusing on leveling all of them up to a next level. This is when a blonde-headed boy and girl approach them, asking if they're Pokemon trainers. We would know these two as Lily and Gladion. Now, back on the Isles of Armor, this is when they go into the dojo. Now, since Chase already proved his strength by being freed, he doesn't need to be tested. However, Mustard would like to test both Ash and Lucas. Ash and Lucas being excited on who they get to battle, wondering if they get to battle one of Freed's other Pokemon. This is when Mustard quickly denies that, saying that they will both battle him at the same time. While both of them are incredibly confused by this, wondering if the old man can really take it, this is when Mustard reveals that he used to be a champion and trained Leon. He's aware of their strength and aware of what they can do, and he tells them not to hold back an inch, as if they lose, he's not going to allow them entry. Mustard sends out his Luxray and his Mienshao, both two powerful Pokemon. This is when Ash sends out his Cinderace and Lucas sends out his Samurott. When Ash asks Lucas why he would send out Samurott, a dark type, Lucas just tells Ash to watch his strength. Both of them engage Mustard. Mustard is easily able to dodge all of their moves. But here's the thing, Lucas and Ash aren't your average opponent, and they end up working together to put Mustard on the back foot. This is when we treat to see Samurott's true strength. Samurott's Ceaseless Edge makes spikes on the ground, and this makes them take damage every time they land. Not to mention, with Samurott's attitude of ceaselessly slashing, it's almost impossible not to get hit by it. Cinderace, not wanting to get left behind as he sees as his rival, immediately ups up the ante. This is when Ash and Cinderace perform the Unite move that they performed once at the Unite Cup. Ash is still surprised that he could perform this, but he remembers the professor saying that Eos energy is all around Galar, and that it's possible to perform a Unite move, but you really need to have a deep bond with your Pokemon in an area that Eos energy might not be as abundant in. He's incredibly amazed by this, but doesn't think it'll happen again. It ends up knocking out Mienshao, but Luxray is still standing. However, Lucas says to leave Luxray to him. Even if it's an electric type, he can handle it. With both trainers giving their all, however, Samurott coming in with a clean slash, barely looks like it took any damage at all, immediately knocks out Luxray. Mustard is amazed with both of them and says that even if he wasn't going his full power, they more or less earned this responsibility. This is when Mustard reveals 3 Pokemon. These 3 Pokemon being Cub Food, each one of them getting to raise one of their own. Now, as they're getting to know their Cub Food, this is when Honey, Mustard's wife, saying that she has a phone call for Mr. Ash. Ash answering the phone call, this is when he hears Lily's voice. And that's where we're going to end the episode off now. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know it's been a while, as I said at the beginning of the episode, but I'm going to be back with a new episode every week. Hopefully we can catch up and we can end the series so I can announce something soon. Alright, with all that being said, Samurai out.